Welcome to Dancing Through Business, the podcast where we explore entrepreneurship, creativity and wellness and how we can move through business with energy, purpose and joy.
We're Julie and Kiri, dancers, creative business owners and your hosts. And today we're chatting with someone who truly lives behind the mic.
Our guest today is Chris Morley. Chris is an ex-Butlins Redcoat, currently a DJ, radio presenter, same radio station as me, live show host and a podcaster who brings people together through music, laughter and feel-good entertainment.
You might know him from the Saturday morning show on Hot Radio in Poole, from hosting high energy Bingo Bango Raving Bingos show, or from Animal Guys, a comedy-packed theatre and cruise show.
So welcome along, Chris. Thanks so much for joining us here at the podcast studio.
Thanks for having me on. What an absolute pleasure this is.
It's amazing.
Great.
And
Yeah.
look how professional we are as well.
We're in a podcast studio. It's all well kitted out. We're on film. This is great. Love it.
Done your hair as
I've
well?
done my hair. Actually, yeah, done my hair. Put a nice jumper on. I'm here. I'm ready to go.
Good angle.
I love how Kiri noticed that.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, thanks for that.
Do you normally see him with bad hair?
Honestly, we just to give a bit of background how we know each other.
Yeah.
Is that we work in Hot Radio in Poole, and I usually when I'm on the radio, I just come in shorts, t-shirt,
Pyjamas.
hoodie, pajamas, towel.
Student style.
Student style, yeah, absolutely, yeah. So it's actually nice to get dressed up for a change, because most of the time in the week I'm just lounging around wearing pajamas and that sort of thing.
Oh, thank you. We're honoured.
Yeah,
Yeah,
made the
so
effort.
it's nice to get out of the house. So no, honestly, thank you for let us come in and have a chat.
It's great. And the reason why we brought you on, Chris, is because you've got so many creative hats under your belt. DJ,
There's a few.
podcast host, radio, as we've said.
Yeah.
I'm on a Sunday, you're on a Saturday. So actually we don't see each other that often, do we? So it's
No.
nice to see each other today.
I know,
as
it's
well.
nice to be in the same room, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess we'll start from the beginning, shall we?
Yeah, how did it all start? Tell us.
Well, it all started back when I finished school. So, like a lot of people, don't know what I want to do with my life. I was 18. I was a bit lost, if I'm honest. I didn't want to go to university. Academically, I wasn't great. I knew creatively I've got something, but I didn't know what to do. So decided to apply for Haven Holidays. Believe it or not, there was a job
Classic.
advertised in the Stage, I think it was, back in the day.
I used to love the Stage, going to WH Smith and buying the actual physical paper.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, what is the Stage?
Well, the Stage was basically a paper for creative people. Whoever wanted to go on the stage, there was always job adverts, there was loads of articles and advice on how to get into the industry and that sort of thing. So
Internet before the internet.
It was.
it was, wasn't
Yeah.
it? It really, really was.
Before all those job websites you get now, the performing arts job websites. But
Yeah.
it was a bit unique, wasn't it? And special. You'd have to really make the effort to
it was.
buy this paper and be really invested in it because it costs money. It's not like now when you just go on the websites, all those endless Stage websites that you get.
This is the place where all the auditions were advertised. So if there was something big happening, you wanted to be the first to know, didn't you? So and competition was very high. It still is now, I think, but back then that was our only form of trying to grab a job, was to have a look at the back of the Stage. So that's exactly what I did. There was an email on the advert. It was like, come and join us. I was like, great, and I didn't hear anything. So sort of thought I was working in a co-op as a duty manager, and I was working there full time. And I thought, is this my life? I thought I'm going to be just working in retail forever. Had a job offer to go and be an assistant manager elsewhere, and I thought, oh, it's not really for me. I can't see myself stacking shelves for the rest of my life. There's nothing wrong with that. I just didn't feel like it was in me. And then I had a random phone call from a company called Butlins, and they said, look, Chris, we've got auditions being held in Cardiff, and I lived in Gloucester at the time, so Cardiff's like a couple of hours on the train. And they said, would you like to come and audition? I was like, yeah, please, yeah. And first of all, I was like, I've never auditioned. I've never really had an interview. What do I do? Anyway, girlfriend at the time was like, right, let's go and have a night out. Let's go and have a bit of a weekend away. You can go and do your audition, but you can just, we can have a bit of fun time in Cardiff. So went there, and it was ruthless, the audition. It was very much, don't know if you've ever been in this situation, but with auditions, they'll grab 100 people in a room, and then after an hour or two, they go, right, we're going to narrow that down to 50. And you go, okay. And then it's like, right, these people, you stand in this corner, you people stand in that corner. Those people in that corner, you're off. Luckily, I was in the other corner.
Brutal.
It's brutal.
It was brutal, and I was like, okay, this is how they're doing it, right? Okay, I better step up. So there was different things you had to do. You had to work within a team. You had to do a bit of hosting. You had to do a bit of presenting. I've done A-level drama, and I love being on the stage, and I think that's where I've got the bug from. So then it got down to like the final 20.
You said you weren't academic. A-levels?
Well, I did do, I did the A-levels, but I kind of blagged it. The first year in my AS levels, I didn't do very well. And can I mention this? I haven't mentioned this ever before, but I was a deputy head boy, right? So I didn't get this on academic. I think it's people kind of like me, I think. And I thought, I cannot be the only deputy head boy in history not to be asked back to do the second year of A-levels. And I remember speaking to my...
And you would have been the only boy in history.
Yeah, I would have been.
Did you know this?
No, I didn't know.
Oh, okay.
No, I did. Well, I spoke to my the head of sixth form, and he was like, well, you shouldn't be here. But you can retake your AS levels. And that's exactly what I did. So the second year I really knuckled down. I was like, no, I'm gonna stick it out. I'm not gonna give up. And I think that's kind of stayed with me throughout my whole career. And then I stayed on and done the A levels. So so going back,
Sorry, yeah.
That's all right. No, it's fine. Going back to that, it was back to the audition and the process. We then done the whole day, and then it was very much right. I'll give you a call, and that was it. I went home, and that was
How many were in that?
there was about 50 people left. So
that's a lot.
There was a lot.
How many jobs?
Well, I found out that thankfully I got the job, and there was only 5 people that got recruited.
Wow, brilliant, well done.
So
amazing.
I was super chuffed with that.
Career kicked off nicely.
So I ended up packing my bags. I was 18. I had to go and move to Somerset. I had to go and move to Minehead. Yeah, so
I can think of worse places to move to.
Yeah, do you know what? It's a lovely, for those people that don't know Minehead, it's a very lovely seaside town. Great town. In the winter, there's nothing around. It all goes to shut down. A bit like a lot of coastal places.
Like Bognor Regis.
Near
where we live, Jules, in Chichester.
Yeah, it's exactly the same. So, in the summertime it's booming, it's great. Wintertime it is quiet, and I didn't drive. So the nearest town was Taunton. And anybody that lives in and around Minehead will know that it takes about an hour to get to Taunton. And that was the hardest bit, was being so away. You're kind of in it, but you're so away from everything else. But it gave me the opportunity to go out and do what I love. So yeah, that's kind of how it started.
That's how it all started.
Yeah. So and I was there for 5 years. So I did 5 years as a red coat. I then progressed into what was like they gave us like a presenter role. Because I think I was getting to that point where I've gone as far as I can go, but I still love it. Have you got anything? Because I don't really want to leave.
Yeah.
And I did a presenter role where I did a variety of different shows. I was sort of at the front of hosting many news shows. Like I've done stuff with Nickelodeon, done stuff with I don't know if you heard of a show called Brainiac.
Yeah.
Did that for a couple of years.
Yeah.
So that's where we got to blow stuff up on stage, which was great fun. I was like, this is mad. This is my job. Like, how somebody's going to knock on my door one day going, come on, Chris, you
wake up.
What is going on? Anyway, I owe my I owe my whole life to that company, because it just gave me the platform to do what I do now.
Yeah, just really learn everything on the job.
That's exactly
great training. Better than A levels. You don't learn much practical skills in A levels.
And that's exactly it. I learned so much. Not only did I learn how to perform, but I learned how to be an adult. I had to do my own cooking and cleaning, washing. I had to do all of. It was like being at university, but without the degree at the end of it. That's how I can describe it.
The Butlin chalets, because I also went to Butlin, to get onto that, they are worse than the university halls. That's how bad they are.
I can vouch for that. I stayed at your place.
Did you stay at one?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not sure they changed.
They are grim.
But you share rooms as well, right?
Yeah. At the beginning, maybe as you get
as you progress.
Yeah, did you get your own place
Well,
after 5 years?
Well, I was very lucky. I worked with one of my best friends, Paul, and we were described as the best way to describe it is the Ant and Dec of Butlins. And we worked with him for about 3 or 4 years, and I lived with him as well. So we had it was a nice place actually. We had a little lounge, we had a couple of bedrooms, bathroom, kitchen. It wasn't awful.
What more do you want in your 18, 21?
18,
Yeah,
21.
yeah.
Like, do you know what? This is great. And do you know what the best thing was is that you could just go and open someone else's door and just go and have a chat and have how was your day? And I think when I left there, that was the hardest part to adapt to that, to suddenly go, it's 1 a.m. Usually there's somebody up, and I've come back to my mum and dad's and they're in bed by 10. So anyway, it was a great start to my career, and it's given me the stepping stones to do what I do now. So I'll always thank them for that, and just seeing something in me to go and push me to get out of my comfort zone and go, yeah, you want to go and present, you want to go and DJ, well, we'll give you the tools to do it, but you go out and do the best you can. And that was the best learning ground ever, because you were going out in front of audiences of like 2,000 people every day. Like, you can't get that in any other job, I think, and there was I remember my first time going out on stage, and I had to do a bit of cover. Somebody went sick and they were like, look, you're gonna have to host one of the big rooms, and this is the one that holds the most people. It's 2,000 people. I was like, oh god, okay, right, here we go. I got my CDs. Back then we would DJ with CDs. So you had to DJ and host at the same time.
Yeah.
And there was a part where you go off backstage, and then you have your name played over a voice. It's like a voiceover. It's like, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to your evening of entertainment. Please welcome your host, Chris. And I was like, oh, I've made it. And I walked out, lights on me, and I froze. I went, I don't know if you've ever felt like this in anything, but you, and I just, because I overthought it, and I was going through my head, I was going, right, I've got a tribute on, I've got a rock show coming up, got a kids entertainer.
And it's still early days. Like,
It's
you're only in your early 20s.
Yeah, and do you know
face
what?
it.
I watched people do this day in and day out. They made it look so easy. So easy. And I thought, I can do this. But until you get up there and do it, it's a scary thing. So I went, good evening, hello, hope you're all having a good holiday. Coming up, we've got, and luckily my entertainment's guide we used to have little guides and I had that in my red coat jacket. And I just pulled it out and I went, I'm just going to have to read out what's on the guide. That's the only way I can get out of it. And then, you do learn from that. You learn to go, I never want to do that again. But if things do go wrong, there's always a backup. So luckily,
but that's why preparation is key, even with presenting, even when it's supposed to look natural and you're supposed to look like it's on the spot, you do have to prepare.
You do.
Like the radio, we have to prepare.
You do. There's an old saying,
prepare to fail or something.
Yeah, prepare to,
fail to prepare.
That's
yes,
it.
prepare to fail.
That's it. And then somebody said, well, if you don't prepare anything, nothing can go wrong. I thought, well, that's quite a good thing as well. So but you have to prepare because people can see it. If you're trying to blag it, you can do sometimes, but not all the time. No. And it makes things a lot harder. But yeah, it's been a good run so far. So yeah.
What I love about Chris's journey is that it's just been sustainable. You've managed to sustain that. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. No. But having that first 5 years at Butlins, I think probably really gave you that confidence then to know you could do it. So I worked at Butlins, as you know, and I lasted 6 months.
Did 6 months?
Because I did not seem to be a favourite with the managers. And after the summer season, I did start a little bit late. I auditioned like you and went through all the stages and everything. I didn't start until July because I was at uni until May, June. I think a lot of people started in April, May, at the beginning of the season.
Right, yeah.
And I did uni and then started. So I came in a bit late and there was already a kind of a core group of redcoats. And then I had to sort of blend in with people. And I loved it. And I feel like, I did the best I could. Yeah. And obviously I was employed to do the job. But I got told I wasn't bubbly enough. I wasn't enthusiastic enough.
Really?
Because they were cutting people down for the winter because they only take on a few redcoats for the
right.
winter.
They did back then. Yeah,
and it killed me. I at 21
You'd be really annoying if you were more of a
So what happened then after then? Where did you go?
At 21, that really knocked my confidence. So for you, Chris, having that 5 years probably really helps you. But yeah, for me, that really knocked my confidence. And then I just had to keep auditioning. Somehow I got the resilience to keep auditioning and have something in me told me I could do it. I still got a few knockbacks, but then I did Thompson and Disney.
It's about how you, because it's good. I think personally, it's good to get knocked back because you realise actually I've got to try harder next time.
Yeah.
You know, and because you could feel like, oh no, what is it? Was it something I said or something I did? I think as I've got older, I go, don't worry about it. Perhaps that job or that wasn't right for me.
You're in the wrong room.
Yeah. And do you know what? I'm probably not going to fit in certain other places, and that's okay. I'm just not the right fit for them, but I can be the right fit for somebody else.
Yes,
definitely.
I love that, and I love the enthusiasm and the energy that you just had in your voice when you said that.
Well, do you know what? I think that just comes with. I think that comes with experience and age. I think now, as I've got older, I've got a young family. For me, that's the most important now. Whereas in my 20s, I was all about my career. And I think a lot of people can relate to that. It's all about in your 20s, you've got to build something, you've got to be something, you've got to do this. Society puts you on this sort of pedestal, don't they? To go, you must be doing this at this point and this point. And you go, well, actually, you don't have to. You don't, like, it'd be lovely if I could earn £100,000 a year. That'd be great. But in reality, I don't. So I'm just going to enjoy what I enjoy doing.
Yeah.
And worry about myself and not worry about what everyone else has got to say. So
it's all what's meant to be, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have done the Disney dancing if I'd stayed at Butlins for 5 years, and teaching and having the business now and gone into more dance stuff.
It's funny, isn't it? Because it leads you into different ways. You know, if it wasn't for me for working at Butlins, I wouldn't have met my wife, because that's how we met. She
was a dancer.
Exactly. She'd be great on this.
Tell us more.
Honestly, because she's a dancer. Well,
yeah.
She still is.
Yeah.
But she danced for various companies, including Butlins. She went on Carnival cruises. She worked for some other big companies as well.
So she danced in those cast shows, the professional car shows.
So
yeah. I used to watch the car shows whilst I was presenting them or hosting them on, and thinking, oh, they look just incredible.
That's how we met. Yeah. I mean, it was. I was the host, and I'd bring the show on and I'd watch and
be in awe.
And weirdly, it was one of those. How we met was so odd, because when you looked at the cast, they were on this, like, not a pedestal, but you looked up to them because, like, these are people that have been trained in doing what they do, they're very good at it. But that year that Mimi, my wife, joined, that sort of changed everything. That everybody sort of worked together, so I got to know the cast a lot more, and then. She happened to move in next door to me as well, so
handy,
which was quite handy, yeah, honestly. But it was, but I didn't think she'd like me. She'd sort of made the first approach, and the rest is history. So, but then that meant at a certain point I had to leave and come and move down to this neck of the woods, because Mimi was like, I'm not going to move to Gloucester because I don't really like Gloucester.
What's
I was like, what's there? There's a docks, there's a rugby club. And that's fair enough. And I'd been down this area for a while, just visiting her family. So let's do it. The hardest thing was not knowing anybody. You suddenly go in from being a somebody. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Everyone's you know loads of people in your little community in Minehead. I knew everybody, and then I suddenly go to nobody, and you sort of got to start again. So
how did you build up your career, especially having a relationship now with Mimi, and then you've just had you've got a 5-year-old.
Yeah.
So how do you balance all that and sustain this creative career that you've just built up so amazingly?
It's not easy. It's not easy because, in an ideal world, I get a 9 to 5 job and I go and do that all day, and we have the weekends to go and socialise and
go to the pub
and do all those nice things, which I can still do. It's just my working week is different. My working week is mainly on the weekends or in the evenings. But what I've learned, especially since having my son, is to find a good balance. Balance is key, because if I'm away all the time, there's only so many years he's going to be very small. So I need to go, actually, I don't need to say yes to everything. Say yes to the stuff that you want to do, as well as trying to make a living, because it is hard to do both. Because I don't know how you feel about that.
Can you give me an example of when you've learned to say no to something? Like, as a performer, as an artist, I think a lot of us can refer to that we're yes people because we like keeping people happy. What was the moment that made you realise that you needed to start saying no?
I think is when I was working too much. There was a point where I was putting a bit of I think it was more before the lockdown happened, actually. It was putting a bit of this is before we had my son, and it was putting a bit of a strain on our relationship. It's like, I never see you, you're always away, you're always working, something's got to give here. I was like, yeah, no, you're absolutely right, because I was feeling tired, I was, shattered, I wasn't really there. And so, when job offers came in, I'd go, no, and I'd see what happened. But do you know what? Those same people came back with me with other work, and it was okay. I went, oh, okay, so it's okay to say no. Stupidly, I shouldn't say no because that's my income. But if you're in a lucky position to say, actually, that's not quite right for me, that particular job or that gig, I'm not going to feel comfortable in that gig. I'd rather go and do something else or find something else.
I think people respect you more as well if you put up the boundaries and just say, no, I can't do that because of this reason, or I'm not going to do it for that rate because I feel like I'm worth more. Like some of my dance teachers say, no, this is my rate now and I can only do this number of hours. And then you go out of your way to use them and adapt for them because you know they're valuable.
Exactly. And also it's knowing your worth as well. I've done jobs in the past, gigs I've gone, that was okay, but I learn from that and I go, I need to be a bit more ruthless and be a bit more take control of me rather than saying yes to everything, because sometimes it's not always right. There are those gigs where you go, yes please, I am all over this, and it's something that if it gets you excited, it's not all about the financial gain. Obviously, I always want to be better than I was the year before, but I love what I do. I absolutely love it. And I think in the last few years especially, I think I'm been the most happiest of being able to find that balance and have a good time while doing it. Because I think when lockdown happened, like everybody else, all the work dried up. And I always go out on stage now to go, this could be the last gig. So just go out and have fun. Don't worry about if this might happen, that might happen. Because 9 times out of 10 it doesn't, and you overthink. I'm the worst at overthinking stuff. If I see a gig in the diary which is brand new, and I go, I don't know what the setup is, what I need to take, is it going to be okay for parking? And I think of all these things that doesn't matter. And then when I get there and I do it, I love it. But it's that I used to do a lot of wedding gigs. So when I first moved here to the area, I did a lot of mobile wedding gigs. I thought, well, they're good fun. I like a good wedding myself. Yeah,
it's popular down here as well, isn't it? Dorset weddings.
Very. I mean, there's loads of places. So I thought, well, this is quite a good way in, and get to know people in the community, build some sort of friendship if I can, with people down here. And I'd started doing weddings, and I just didn't like them. That's a weird thing to say, isn't it? Because I love my wedding, and I like going to people's weddings, but working a wedding and having that pressure of going, the first dance, is my USB going to work? Because if it doesn't, I think the bride's going to kill me.
It's pressure. Weddings are pressure.
It is. But again, I think that goes back to going, what works for you? How I prepare that for next time. Well, okay, if the USB goes, bring a backup, and all that sort of stuff. Bring extra cables, bring a new speaker, whatever that is, just to make sure things don't go wrong. But I did stop enjoying those sort of gigs, and I went, okay, all right, well, I'll do them if I have to. But I don't need to. So sort of
nice to get to that point where you can choose and free yourself up for the stuff that you actually do want to do.
Because it is quite scary, because you look at you try and plan your diary through the year, and you go, well, I've got this weekend off, I've got these dates free. But then you go, well, am I going to really get the most out of that? Am I going to enjoy it? Am I the best person for that gig? And sometimes I go, no, I'm not. I'm okay about that. But I tell you what, I got somebody that is even better or just as good. And I'd rather lean on other people that I've learned to be good friends with and built relationships with. And it comes back to me later on anyway, because there'll be gigs that other people can't do. And I go, yeah, I'll do it. Yeah. And
support all the other freelancers and share alike.
We're all in the same boat, and do you know what? That's what I found hard first when I came down to Bournemouth, is that I didn't know anybody. I knew everybody in my world. I didn't know anybody down here, and I was like, there's got to be a creative community down here. And then it wasn't until I started working at Hot Radio, that's where it started. And a big, thank you to Carl, who does the breakfast show, because he was like, look, they're looking for a presenter. Do you fancy doing it? I went, yeah, I've never done radio ever.
How though?
How do I do it?
But how have you never done radio?
Well, do you know,
at that point, that's amazing.
Back then, I did an internet radio station. It was probably like 5 listeners, but it was all done online. It was all, you just record it in your bedroom and then just upload it and away you go. There's no big following, but I always thought, do you know, I'd love to do a bit of radio. It sounds really good fun, and I love chatting.
And you're perfect for it as well.
Oh, thank you. I love.
And you won the award for the best weekend radio show. Can you believe?
Awesome.
I'm on the weekends.
There's a big clang there. I'm going to use that for the next 2 years. Don't you worry about it. I'll pass the baton on to you next
I did
year.
get an award for social media.
Hey.
Engagement.
Hey, this is going to go viral. So don't
No, like, I had no idea. You've got 11,000 followers, 12,000 followers.
What, you're doing better than I am? I've got about 10. So,
But is there a thing called voice for radio? You have voice for radio.
Yeah,
You sound great on radio.
I think people say that. It's like, weirdly though, I was speaking to my parents about this the other week, and I had a speech impediment at the age. I didn't speak for 5 years, up to the age of 5.
Wow.
So I had to go to elocution lessons, and that's why sometimes my Gloucester accent doesn't always come out, and sometimes I go back home. But I just put on. I don't know. I think that might have helped. I can't remember it. I was too young. But apparently, that's probably where I've got the voice from. Maybe, I don't know. But
just that years of training, just being in the industry.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, and actually, it's learning how to talk on stage helped. So then I was like, well, I could bring that into radio. The weird thing about radio, as you know, is that you haven't got an audience. So, or you have got an audience, but they're not in front of you.
But
so,
you still have to project. You think, I just talk to the mic, but you do have to really project on the radio to come across enthusiastic.
If we went, morning, you all right? A good day? Great, we've got put Shania Twain on in a minute. Fancy that. If we did it like that, then nobody would tune in, would they? So
No.
you got to give it some. And I think if
you feel a bit silly doing it.
You do.
Although I don't now. I'm just like, I'm in my element. I'm having a great time.
But what's so nice is that people recognise you for your voice sometimes rather than what you look like, because they just hear you on the radio. Like, recognise that voice. You're like, you do this. Yeah, and that's a nice feeling, because you go, well, I don't know who this person is, but they've I've seen them on the street or they've tuned in. You're like, you've tuned in, great, okay, come join me again on Saturday. So yeah, going back to doing radio. I was like, I love this, so I say thanks to Carl, who does breakfast, because he got me in, and I've stayed there ever since. I've been with Hot for, I think it's nearly 10 years now.
Really?
It's nearly 10.
Oh, Kiri, you've got another 8 years before you get in that award.
7.5.
Yeah. You've got it in the bag. Our Virgil show is very good. So yeah,
Sundays 2 till 4.
Sundays 2 till 4. Tune in, give us a follow. But yeah, that's what I love, is that I built a little community up down here, and it gave me that. I work with great people, and I love that. So yeah, thanks to the radio, I've really enjoyed being down here. I will never go back home now. I'm happy where I am. I've got my friendship groups now. There's loads of talented people that live down here as well, and yeah, it's great fun.
So this is home now.
Yeah, it is home. I've got a house, I've got a child, I'm doing adult things, and I still feel like I'm 18. I don't know about you two, but I just feel like I am at my happiest now. I genuinely can say that. I think there's been bumps in the road over the years where you go, I don't know what I'm doing. Am I doing the right thing? I've done jobs where I go, I can't do this. I've worked for Nationwide. So that was down in Bournemouth, and they were looking for temporary staff, and I thought I was just doing a bit of admin. I was like, great, I just need to do a bit of admin, go in, and I'll do the best I can at that job. I've always done that in anything I've done. But they put me in the call centre, and I hated it.
I bet you were great on the phone.
well, this was the thing.
You were great.
Yes,
You were talking.
yeah, but the person who recruited me said exactly the same thing, and I went, yes, I think I might be okay on the phones, but I was talking about buy-to-let mortgages, and if I'm honest with you, I didn't have a clue. They're like, it's okay, we'll give you 4 weeks training. You go, yeah, that's brilliant. And I got on the phones and I crumbled because people were just shouting down the phone. They're just going, my mortgage has been declined. I was like, I don't even know what mortgage is, but okay, I'm really sorry. And I thought, do you know what? I don't want to do that. That's where it all started off, because I moved down here. I didn't even know what to do. I was like, oh god, where do I go? And then luckily, out of the blue, I went for an audition in London for a guy who lived in Bournemouth, who was basically putting a show together that was touring around some of the holiday parks around the UK.
It's the Animal Guys.
No, this was a show called Count Duckula. It was a cartoon character back in the 80s.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember it.
I do.
Do you? Yeah. So it was a stage show. And he was like, oh, if I knew you were in Bournemouth, could have done it at my house. I was like, you didn't see the CV, right? Because it did say I was in Bournemouth. But anyway, done the audition, done a whole year, and that was great fun. And so that was my, I guess, the next part of my journey of going into touring and sort of going, I love this and I'm enjoying it. And then it got to the point where I was like, oh, I need to get a sensible job, because it's funny in this industry, because some of my family are like, when are you going to get a proper job? I was like, this is my job. This is what I do for a living. And I just thought, I'm just going to prove them wrong that I can do this. Mum and Dad very supportive. Other members of my family are like, he's just messing about on stage. And I was like, no, but I do get paid to do this. This is great. But I did go into a proper job and worked in recruitment, and only on the basis that I thought I'm probably quite good at it. I'd never recruited in my life, but I knew that I'm kind of good with people. And actually, that taught me a lot of things. I love the networking part of it, where I have to go to networking events, and lots of people hate that. And I get it, because you go into a room of people of all industries, and I always think, don't worry what position they are in their job, because they're no different to me and you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But it can be quite daunting. You're like, oh, so what do you do? I'm the finance director for a big corporate firm. You're like, okay, yeah, what do you do? I do recruitment. Do you want me to recruit any jobs for you? Oh, and you go, oh, okay, right, this is the wrong approach. Let's just be me, don't be somebody else. And actually, it's funny, because I used to go, well, they go, what do you do? I go, well, I do recruitment. Great. And then I go, I also do radio, I do DJing. Like, what? Hang on a minute. Whoa. What? And they want to know a bit more information about that. So that was kind of like my way in. I love talking to people. I was actually enjoying that most of all. I was like, put me on every one of those sessions, because I really enjoyed it. I think that was probably where I failed a little bit. I probably didn't get as much business on as I should have done. But
too busy chatting to everyone.
Too busy
making friends.
I think that's what it is. But I have to say, massive thanks to that company, because they were brilliant. It just comes to the point where, the business was changing, and I wasn't perhaps the right fit for them anymore. And that's okay, because there's nothing worse where somebody goes, no, I don't want you. You're like, okay.
Get out of that room. Wrong room.
You're in the wrong room.
So what freelance work do you do now, if any? Yeah,
so freelance work, do a lot of DJing. I sort of briefly touched on, so I do a lot of DJing primarily in my income. I host a few shows, so including a ravey bingo show, which on paper sounds absolutely mad.
It's so good. I still need to get to one. I haven't been yet, but
you will.
Yeah.
All I can say is it's bingo, but with a twist. So
everyone's dancing on the tables, aren't they?
yeah. If you ever get a chance to go out to one of them, because there's loads of companies that do it, but I work with a great team that are just, we've all worked in the same circles, so we know each other very, very well, and it is a bit nuts. It's bingo with lots of raving, old school party 80s, 90s, today tunes, sing-alongs, rubbish prizes, and have a little bit of fun. Because I think sometimes life's a bit serious, isn't it? And actually, for an hour or two, you can just let yourself down, let your hair down, and just enjoy yourself. So, so do that. This year, I'm working for a company called the Animal Guys. So it's I'm going back into entertaining kids essentially, because a lot of my work has always been working with adults, and I do a lot of adult themed nights,
DJing
and DJing and stuff. So going back to entertaining families, it's really good fun actually, because that's where I learn my craft. So it's a phenomenal show. It's a show that no real life animal is used, but it's about raising awareness of animals and having fun with it at the same time. The scripts are very much written for the adults but dumbed down for the kids, and so we're off touring the theatres this year, and also they've got contract with various cruise lines this year, so I get the chance to go on a cruise ship this year.
So cool.
So working with P&O, so I hopefully will be able to see you in a theatre or a cruise ship soon. So it's kind of a mixed bag of stuff I'm doing this year, and still doing the radio. So and anything else that comes in, brilliant. So
what I'm really interested in, Chris, is that all your jobs are really high energy, and you require a lot of personality and a lot of energy for them. Julie's nodding along because she's really far away from the mic. So how do you manage your well-being during all these times? Like, do you factor in rest or fitness and relaxation?
Yeah, you got to. I think with any job, isn't it? You've got to look after yourself. I do like a bit of fitness. I keep booking myself in for runs because I've got something to go and achieve. I'm no athlete. I'm not gonna go, oh, look at me, I'm doing 20 miles a day and I'm lifting 100,000 kilos of weights every morning. I'm not that sort of person, but I do like to keep fit, like to keep active. I think that's good. Do you know the weird thing is that when you go on stage and you're this persona, you're this person, you're like, oh, he looks really confident. But when I'm in my house, I'm just me. I'm pretty boring as me. Because if I was to do that every day, like, good morning, welcome to the start of the day. It's time to get up and get going, and we'll have some breakfast and then get in the car.
That's what I'm like in the morning.
Yeah, that's okay, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing at all. It's hard to keep that up, isn't it? And and actually, I still get nervous, which I think's a good thing. Every time I've done a show, probably about 1 million times, I always worry about what I'm going to do. And actually, I've learned that as I've got older, that I can manage that better. Not to worry about things. You've got to look after yourself. I think when we stopped working, you suddenly go, where am I going to get this same buzz from? It's a bit like, I can only assume it's a bit like somebody, like a footballer. You play football for 20 years. You're in front of thousands of people every day, and then suddenly that gets cut off and you go, oh, okay, where do I get that buzz from again? So that's why I sort of keep fit, and I just look after myself and talk to people, because it's weird. I can go without talking to anybody except my immediate family, obviously, for the whole week, and then the weekend I go out in front of hundreds of people.
Yeah,
it's trying to find that bit in the week where you go, it's okay to relax and sit back and enjoy yourself, but it's try and get that buzz as well.
But that's how it keeps sustainable, because you couldn't, like you say, keep that up 24 hours a day. So having that rest and having those boundaries that we went back to before, and saying no to certain things, you can sustain that career for years. Then,
it is, and I always say this to my son. I was like, do you know what? Just be kind, be nice to people, and have fun. And I always sort of stick by that. If you're nice to people, then chances are that people want to work with you. And I've always sort of gone through, I've always had that, and just to have fun doing whatever you want to do, whatever career that is, and I still think somebody's going to knock on my door and go, come on, Chris, time to give up now. Or this is the end. So no. But you have those thoughts, and you go, well, can I still be doing this in 10 years' time? Probably not. But I know people that still do. Do I want to do it in 10 years? I don't know. That's the exciting bit.
I don't see why not.
No.
Because it's not all for just the youngsters, isn't it? We need a variety of people in media and entertainment. And I'm actually really only just getting back into it, and I'm in my 40s, and I'm hoping to sort of build up the career again, like the second time around.
Exactly.
So I'm hoping that they still want people in their 40s and 50s.
Absolutely, and there's always something there for somebody, isn't there?
Yeah.
And that's what I find quite exciting, Because people go, oh, what are you going to do in 10 years? I don't know.
It's a 10-year time problem, not today's problem. Yeah.
Absolutely. It is.
Yeah.
It is. And he's one of those things you go, well, I'm just going to enjoy this bit. I don't look too far ahead, and I was doing that too much. I was looking too far ahead and not actually enjoying what I'm doing now. So be present, enjoy it, because it can all finish tomorrow. And if it's not working out for you, the great thing is you can go and find something else. There is so much out there, you know, and
I think more so nowadays as well, because there's so much online as well, isn't
Yeah.
there, in terms of presenting.
yeah, there is.
Yeah, so there's so many more opportunities. You just have to put yourself out there.
Of course,
don't you?
Exactly.
That's the main thing.
It's so easy to sit back and go, nah, I'm not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. Well, why don't you do it? I don't think I'll be good at it. Well, how do you know? Well, I don't know. Good point. And you just go out and do it.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes I need to sort of take a leaf out of my own advice. Go and get out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
That's important. Do something that makes you feel a bit, ooh, I don't know if I'll be doing this.
Yeah.
Well, do it then. Try it.
Yeah.
And that's always kind of worked.
Such good advice. Have you got any more advice for, as we're on that subject, for creatives?
Oh, for anybody who wants to get into the creative industry, oh God, just go and lean on people that are in it. That's all I can say. I learned so much from people that had done the job before me. There was a guy called, I always remember his name, a guy called Paul Beckett. He was of an old school era, variety era. Think of like Bruce Forsyth, you know, Bob Monkhouse. He was that sort of era, and he used to do live. He'd be a compere. He'd be an old school compere. He'd bring on the acts. He'd have a bit of fun with the audience. And I always say to him, well, you know, back then I'd had acts on that were from the 80s or the 70s. Like, oh, I don't know who these people are. That is before my time. And I was like, how would you introduce it? Well, have a look what they've done. Say a few key things. Be confident in what you're saying. Even the little things, from where to stand on stage and to make. He'd always say, well, why are you walking to the stage left? What's the point of that? Why don't you stand in the middle? I didn't think of that. He was like, well, make a purpose and be clear, be concise, have fun doing it, and the audience will automatically warm to you. Because if you don't feel confident and you're looking like you pacing up and down the stage, people switch off. So I always lent on him from a compare point of view, because he just had so much knowledge. He'd have so many great stories. And then as I've moved on, you know, if I've got into sort of, like when I got into radio, I spoke to people in the industry, like, how can I be better as an individual? Can you listen to my show? Can you give me any pointers? Because I need to know how to do it better. And I like to think that I hopefully pass that on to other people that have been in the industry as well. So always lean on the people, because people love talking about what they do. It's an easy thing to talk about, you know, because especially when they're so passionate about it as well. So
having a mentor, basically, isn't it? And you can do that in any industry.
Any industry.
Can't you? And like you say, the mentees love being a mentor. Is that the right way of saying it?
That is
They love like helping people that are not below them, but are getting into their sort of industry. And like, as for us, like having a mentor is really, really, really useful.
Yeah, I thank those people that have seen something in me that perhaps I didn't see. And giving me opportunities, you know, I thank them so much. I've got a load of people that I can thank already on this show, but I would be here all day. I just whatever walk of life, I love the fact that I can just lean on people and just go, hey, got this idea, what do you think? And they go, no, it's rubbish. We'll go, no, crack on.
Yeah.
And you're so thankful, honestly. Throughout this podcast, you've mentioned thank you to so many people along your way. So I imagine that's a key to your success, is that you've not just lent on those people, but you've thanked them along the way.
I have. Yeah, I have. It's funny, isn't it? When you start talking about these things, you think, oh, just go on stage. But actually, there's more to that. It is those people that go on, Chris, you can do this. And you can do it well. And I've you know, in the last few years, I've been introduced to other people, you know, who necessarily might know who I am or heard of me, but I don't really know them very well. So there's that pressure of going, oh, hopefully I can do well. And it's like, don't think about it, Chris. Just go out and do it. Do what you know what to do. And again, be thankful, because you never know what it could be the last one today. So, yeah, go out and have fun. Enjoy life.
So we talked about the long-term future. Who knows? What's for you for the immediate future, as in like this year?
Yeah, this year. So sort of touched on. So we're going cruising this year. So, I mean, that's a funny story in itself. Somebody I got recommended, like, Chris would be great for this. Do you fancy it? And I did it last year. Yeah, last year, because we're in January now. So I went cruising around Norway. And I said to my wife, I was like, I actually turned it down. I turned the work down, and it's a good amount of work, you know, throughout the school holidays, throughout the year. And I said no. And my wife Mimi was like, "Why have you done that?" I was like, I thought you might not like it, the fact that I'm away, and she was like, "Yeah, but one, you got to earn some money. That's key, because we need the money. Okay, that's fine. Secondly, you've never done cruising. You've always wanted to do it. Yeah, that's right. And thirdly, actually, you'll be going, worked out the logistics of it. I'd be going to Southampton. I'd go from Southampton round Norway back to Southampton every week for 8 weeks. Yeah. So it's like, well, we get to see you for every week. It's just that you'd be gigging. You're just not in this country. And we've got FaceTime and stuff. So I'd rather you do this and just enjoy it. And my wife, she's a teacher. So she's got the school holidays off, so it's like, it doesn't matter, it's fine. So I thank her for going, actually, no, you go and do it. She's been my sounding board throughout my whole career, to go, do you think this is right? Do you think I should do this? Or, I've got this coming up, what do you think? And she's the same. She's a dance teacher in a school, and she comes up with ideas of going, try and put this show together. What do you think of this? I've got this. I don't know nothing about dance, but what I do know is how to put on a show. That's the bit I can perhaps give. So if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be pushed to do these things. So so cruising, lots of DJing, radio, still on Saturday mornings or hot radio from 10 till 12.
There we go.
So lots of exciting things coming up, and hopefully do some more podcasting, because I love it.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah, have you got any more podcast episodes coming out?
Not at the moment. There is something in the pipeline though. So we've been, basically, I did a podcast with a friend of mine, like everybody was doing during lockdown, because there was nothing else to do. So let's do a podcast, and it did okay. We weren't going for viewing numbers. We would just do it because we just wanted to meet up and have a chat, really. Yeah. So there's hopefully that's going to return. It's called the Post Pavilion Podcast. Actually, it's still available on Spotify, wherever you get your podcast from.
We did have a little listen, Jules.
Did you?
We did. It was cool.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, great high energy in that.
But that was great.
It's really exciting, Chris. We look forward to seeing what's coming out very soon. Yes. Thanks so much for coming on.
Oh, brilliant. Thanks for having me, and loving the pod already. So I'll be constantly subscribed to this. Don't you worry.
Thank you.
Excellent. I'll see you soon at Hot Radio, hopefully.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
See you soon.
Thanks, Chris. Bye.
And if this episode resonated with you, please subscribe, share it with someone who needs a little creative spark. And remember, keep
dancing through business.
See you next time.